Unemployment is a crisis facing us, not somewhere in the future, not in the near future, but right now. This is what's happening. We have to face the facts right now. I'll get into the examples and I will show you how this is not just in the US. This is not just in one single country, but it is a worldwide problem. And that problem of unemployment, I will show you where it comes from, and I will show you why this is a very big problem in the future. Is Greece really back? This is an article here out of Bloomberg, and basically just trying to say that, maybe they have some good points and, maybe this and that. Well, the real fact is that right now the unemployment rate is 27%. That is extremely high, and I will show you why that value is particularly important in just a moment. But the youth unemployment rate is at 58%. That is alarmingly high. They're calling it particularly worrisome, really downplaying it, but that is alarmingly high. That is more than half of the youth unable to find work. And if they can't pay off their debt, they're going to carry that on, and they're going to take that on for quite some time. This is the unemployment rate in the US. This is using Shadowstat's methodology here, and the blue line is the real unemployment rate when you calculate it to the actual amount of unemployed people, not the numbers that they use, how they skew them using these new methodologies. This is the actual real unemployment rate heading close to 25%. Again, that number very significant. Let me go on. I just picked another one. Spain, 26.7%. Very high, and you can see that the unemployment rate of the youth is even higher than this. So this goes on and on. All countries, you can just type in the name of your country and then type in unemployment rate, and you'll get the statistics that come up. This is from my book. I did an entire chapter on unemployment because I knew it was going to be such a big issue. It isn't going anywhere anytime soon. I'll just go into this one brief point and I'll move on. The official unemployment rate during the Great Depression hit a peak in 1933 at 25%. Now those are using the original statistics and how they use that methodology, 25%. But look at these other countries. Look at the US, how their unemployment rate is at 25% or higher. This is alarming. Bells should be going off when you have such a high rate. Now I'll just mention other things in here. I'm talking about how we were less dependent on the government at that point. We were using our own farms. We lived in rural areas more often. We were able to be more capable, but that isn't the case today. That's really not what's happening, and this spells a big disaster in the near future, and as I said, right now with the actual numbers being this high today. Under Obama, temp jobs grew 45%, the manufacturing shrank. So you have temporary jobs, as I've said before in my book and many times before. Temporary jobs are the thing. So when they say that, oh yes, we've created 100,000 jobs this month, they actually did create 100,000 jobs in many cases. However, those are temporary jobs. So those individuals who may already be employed because they have multiple temporary jobs, 2, 3, 4 jobs, that's a skewing of the numbers. That's how they're able to sort of manipulate the mass media, and they can put that out in there, and people would just believe it, even if they are the ones unemployed. It's pretty silly. This is out of the Latin American Herald Tribune, and basically I'm just talking about General Motors taking their money, they put it offshore because it's more friendly for taxes, and of course the labor is cheaper, and they invested $1 billion in Brazil. They also opened up a factory in China. So they're taking bailout money, they're opening up factories in the third world, and they're profiting off of the cheap labor, the low regulations. Well, I have an idea. Why don't we use those same regulations that they have there, make them nice and easy to operate within their own country. But that's not what's happening. They're shipping the jobs overseas. How many cities do you know of that basically the jobs have been totally shipped out of seas? You can see what happened to Detroit, just as a perfect example. It was a booming town at one point, and then what happened? All the jobs are gone, and look at what's left. A very high unemployment rate. That unemployment rate is basically goes hand in hand with the economic reality of that city, of that state, of that country and province, wherever you happen to live. So this is basically goes hand in hand. If you want to know why one thing is a problem, you have to look for the other thing. This is how it works. It isn't just this one number. They show you an unemployment rate, and you're supposed to just take that at face value. That's not how it works. There's more things going on here. These are the things that I get into here at the Money GPS. Obama's education focus overlooks next financial contagion. I'm talking about the student loan crisis, a $1.2 trillion thing. And this is a huge problem because where are the students going to take these loans that they're getting? How are they going to pay them off when they don't have jobs? It all interconnects here. That's what I'm trying to say. Here I am connecting the dots for you. The mainstream media is not going to do that. The government's not going to do that. You're going to end up getting a job at McDonald's, and you're going to have to take 2 temporary jobs, 3 temporary jobs just to be able to put food on the table because of this system and the way it works. But when you have that fiat currency, when you have their manipulated currency, you invest in their manipulated stock market, the bonds, all of these paper quote unquote investments, you will be stuck holding this garbage for the rest of your life if they don't take it from you with the bail-in strategies, with all of these other things that I've talked about before. But when you invest for yourself, when you take control of that and you actually buy real assets, you take control, you hold it in the palm of your hand, and you will succeed. I hope that all of you will succeed. I hope that you will get the knowledge you need, and one of the places to do that is at the Money GPS Insiders. That is basically an extension of the work I've done in my book, and it is totally free. You get on there at themoneygps.com. At the bottom you fill in your email address, and I send out occasional emails with some good solid intel. It takes only about 2 minutes to read through them, and I hope you'll join the others on there.